Good morning, all of first grade. Happy Thursday and welcome to the reading room. So we're all home again. And guess what? You can learn in school and you can learn at home. And that's kind of like reading. You can read anywhere, so you can learn anywhere. So this week we've been focusing on being story detectives. And we've been finding out the story elements or the parts of a story, like who is this characters? And you can be story detectives and figure out who they are and say why they're the characters. Or your setting, where the story takes place, and your evidence. That means your reasoning. Well, like right now, where is my setting? It's not in the classroom. It's in my house. I try to make it look like a classroom, but it's actually in my house. And then we've been talking about the problem and solution. Figuring out, being story detectives, figuring out what is the problem in the story. That means what needs to be fixed, right? And the solution, remember that word, is how it gets fixed. And I like to give evidence or reasons why and how we can prove how it's fixed or prove that's the problem. So today we are going to read a book called The Snatchabook. It says, Who's Stealing All the Stories? It is by Helen Dockery and Thomas Dockery. So Helen wrote the words and Thomas drew the pictures. So look at them. I'm going to read this title again. The Snatchabook. Who's Stealing All the Stories? Do you remember the book we read on Tuesday about the chalk drawings? And they were like the case of the missing chalk drawings. Right away, we knew there was a problem. Again, same kind of thing. Just by the title, we know there's a problem going on here, right? Story detectives, you keep it a close eye out for it. We got to find the evidence, though. Who is stealing all the stories? So, let's see. It's called The Snatchabook. Snatch is like you grab something. I'm going to move my computer so you can see. Okay, so one dark, dark night in Burrow Down, a rabbit named Eliza Brown found a book and settled down when a Snatchabook flew into town. A Snatchabook flew into town? What's a Snatchabook? We don't know yet, but we got our first character. Eliza Brown. How I know this? Because she's doing something. She's reading in here. She's just settling down for the night, maybe. But a Snatchabook came to town. Wonder what a Snatchabook is. In every house, in every bed, a bedtime book was being read. I don't know if you can see all the details here. In every little picture, right? They are reading bedtime stories. Now, if we had to say, hey, story detectives, what's the setting? Where's the story taking place? Yeah, outside, in a forest or something. How do you know this? Well, you see trees on every page. We're outside still. I think that's the moon there. So we are outside. That is our setting. Okay. Tales of dragons spitting flames. Witches playing spooky games. Pirates on the seven seas. Princesses trying to sleep on peas. And every child in every bed listen hard to each word said. So these are all stories that they're getting read to before they fall asleep at night. Eliza Brown, at number 3, was reading quite contently. Her curtains opened just a chink. She barely had a chance to blink. Her storybook just disappeared. Eliza found that very weird. There's something going on right here. Her book just disappeared, and there's something right there. Do we find out our problem yet? Yeah. What's the problem? Their books are disappearing. How do you know this? They're reading and then they're gone in the next second. The little owls on Mommy's lap were quite surprised to hear a tap against their bedroom window glass. Tap, tap. The noise came really fast, but they'd even looked around. The book was gone without a sound. It happened again. The problem happened again. Their book disappeared. Their book's gone. The wind blew. Yeah, do you see what's going on right here? This thing right here? The wind blew wild across the sky. The smallest squirrel heard a cry. What's that? She whispered to her dad. But then, and this was really bad, before they had a chance to look, she lost her favorite book. Her very favorite book was gone again. Oh no. Our problem's getting bigger. All the books are being taken. And so it went, night after night. Books disappeared from left and right. 5 books here and 6 books there. The shelves began to look quite bare. In borrowed down the rumor spread of book thieves under every bed. Eliza Brown at number 3 was keen to solve the mystery. Okay. Do you remember the story of the case of missing chalk, right? When the chalks couldn't find out who was stealing their drawings, they finally called in Sergeant Bloom, and he was like their detective. So we have another detective here, Eliza Brown, our main character, right? She's going to try to figure out what is going on here, because there's a major problem. All of these characters are all upset. They're all upset. Their books are being taken, right? So she's going to try to figure out what's going on here. She planned one night to lie in wait and use a pile of books as bait. Long hours passed without a peep. She nearly fallen fast asleep. Do you remember in the case of the drawings again? Right? When they kind of set up a trap for the eraser. They had made that beautiful rainbow, and there was like eyes hidden in the colors. It was really the chalks they were hiding, right? So they're trying to catch who was stealing the drawings. Eliza's trying to catch who's stealing the books. I think she's got a good plan. So she's thinking that this thing who's stealing the books loves books. So there she goes. She has it all set up for books. So long hours passed without a peep when suddenly Eliza heard a flap of wings. A bat? A bird? What could it be? Eliza saw a shadow loom, enormous, right across her room. What kind of monster could it be? Eliza thought. Hey, you don't scare me. Oh, that kind of reminds me of the little old lady wasn't afraid of anything. She's like, you don't scare me. And yet, her heart was beating fast. She had to face the thief at last. Oh, that's a big, scary shadow. What's going to come in? What's going to get those books? She threw the window open wide and shouted to the thing outside. Stop stealing all our books right now. Just give them back. I don't care how. Right? She's so tired of it. Stop stealing our books. It's not nice. Bring them back. Oh, no. I'm sorry, came a little voice. I really am. I had no choice. Eliza looked down in surprise. What? You're stealing our books? She couldn't quite believe her eyes. So who are you and what's your name? Oh my goodness, look at him. The creature hung its head in shame. He mumbled with a mournful look. I'm just a little Snatchabook. Oh, he's just a little Snatchabook. That's what he's called, a Snatchabook. Look at him. Oh, kind of reminds me of the Racer. The Racer's like, I erase things. That's what I do. The little Snatchabook. Eliza nodded solemnly. She sat the creature on her knee. Listen, you can't just come and help yourself to every book on every shelf. You can't just take people's things. You can't take people's books. A tear rolled from the creature's eye, and softly he began to cry. I know it's wrong, but can't you see? I've got no one to read to me. Oh, Eliza sighed. He looked so sad. If he just had a mom or dad to read him stories every night, well, then he might behave all right. Oh. So, okay. The first problem where they were trying to figure out who was stealing their books, I think it was solved, right? Eliza, yeah, what's your evidence? It was solved. She found it. She set a trap and she found the little creature that was stealing the books. Now, just like the case of the missing chalk, another problem came up. This poor little guy, he's got no one to read to. So he thought if he took the books, he could try and read them himself, but he was just trying to take the books and to read to them. Yeah. Oh, so we have another problem. Now how can it be solved? He's got no one to read to him. That very night, they hatched a plan. And so the Snatchabook began. Ooh, wonder what he's doing with all those books. Yeah, maybe he's giving back the books. Oh, to give back all the books he picked, Eliza Brown was very strict. You must give back every book. I'm with Eliza. You can't just take without asking. That's what I was a little upset about, that eraser. He was just erasing without asking, even though he didn't really know any better. And trying hard to prove himself, he stacked them neatly back on each shelf. So he gave all the books back, solving that one problem. And when he had made his full amends, meaning like he said sorry, Eliza called on all her friends and told them how he'd worked all night to turn a wrong into a right. And now, each night, in burrow down, as darkness falls upon the town, in every house and every bed, a bedtime book is being read. All right. Yeah, well, that problem was solved, right? They can tell because all the books are back. They're all reading. And if you take a closer look, you might just see the Snatchabook perched happily on someone's bed, listening hard to each word said. There's the Snatchabook. Oh, that was the end. Wait, okay, so remember that second problem I talked about, Story Detectives, that the Snatchabook was really upset and he was so sad because no one could read to him at night? How is that problem solved? Right, how was it solved? It was, but how do you know this? Eliza probably said to him, listen, you can listen in on the stories I read at night, okay? You can't take my books, but you can listen in and that's okay. And look, now he has someone to read to him every night. Oh, the little Snatchabook. Maybe he's one of my next favorite creatures. To my class, I love wombats. He's kind of up there as one of my favorites, especially when he turned it around, right? He apologized and everything. He just wants to be read to. Oh, we can make friends with our wombat. Okay, so that was our story of the cute Snatchabook. Okay, thanks, Story Detective. So today, when you're reading, try to look into your Raz Kit. See if there's any books that are on your level, right? And try to be a good detective. Find out who the characters are. Find out what the setting is. Does your story have a problem? Does the problem get solved? Does it get fixed? And also, if you're looking for more books to read, remember to click on the thing underneath the whiteboard. It's like the bookshelf. It's got lots of books there. You can click on there. You can listen to the books of the week, books that are on your level, and also books that I've read before. Okay, so don't be afraid to check that out too. Have a great day. All right, keep reading. Bye.